Alright, so in this lesson we're going to start adding some color. And this is not a step that I have done yet on this one, so we'll do this one all together. If any of you guys are familiar with my Photoshop courses, you'll notice there's a lot of things I do differently in Procreate because really I'm trying to take advantage of what Procreate is best at. And there's some things in Photoshop that it just works differently. It's not really better or worse. So if you're familiar with that method, you'll notice that there's some similarities, but it's a little bit different for Procreate. Now, one of the brushes that I included with the course is this brush that's called Flatter. Okay, and I called it a flatter because it's a brush you flat with. And all it is, it's just a square brush. Okay, let me make a new layer so you guys can see. It's a very, very square brush. Okay, and you want to make sure that it's set to 100% opacity. Okay. And you're probably wondering, well, why do I want to use this brush? It looks like it wouldn't be a good brush to paint with. The way that we're going to add color to this is, again, kind of the way that it's done in the comic book business, which is that we're going to flat all the colors first, which means we just lay in the base colors without getting into light and shadow or anything just yet. And I would normally do this with a lasso in Photoshop, but there's a problem with, or I won't say a problem, but the lasso in Procreate works a little bit differently. And I'll show you what I mean here. So we're going to use that flatter brush kind of as a lasso tool, because if I go to my lasso tool and I make a selection and I fill it with a color, and let me get an actual color here. And if I start zooming in, I'm going to deselect this. I'm going to start zooming in, and you'll notice that the edges aren't actually clean. They're anti-aliased. Okay, what that means is if I start picking colors here, I've got an orange. Whoops, make this smaller. So I've got an orange color. Right here, I've got a different color. And next to that, I've got an even different color before I get to white. So I've got 4 colors happening here. And when you try to fill this with a bucket tool or like color drop or whatever, you don't end up with clean lines. And so it really doesn't work that well for most flatting purposes anyway when it comes to color. So with my square flatter brush, make this bigger, if I zoom in on this, you'll see that it's completely clean. Okay, there's only 2 colors there. There's the white and there's the color, the brownish color I'm using there. So that's really important when we start using these selections later. So I'm on my flatter brush, and this initial color doesn't really matter that much, but I'm just going to pick kind of a middle skin tone here. Kind of right in the middle of the color wheel, or the circle, and kind of an orangey color. And that's going to kind of be our base color for our skin. But to start off with, I'm going to shrink this brush way, way down. And I'll end up resizing this probably a lot throughout the thing here. I'm trying to find a good size to start with, something about like that. And I'm just going to start by going around this edge, and I'm making sure that I'm staying under. When I get real close, I want part of this to be under that black. Okay. What I don't want to do is this. You know, where I'm not really getting into this area here. Okay, you want to make sure that you're under that black there. And we're just going to go all the way around here. And I'm going to do this for every part of this image. Now, if your ink lines are really, really clean, then maybe you can use one of the color drop features in in Procreate to fill this, but I haven't had really good luck with that unless the inks are really just not textured at all, and I don't really care for that look. So I'm just going to close this off here. So my goal, if I turn off my inks layer, my goal is to make sure that shape is closed, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my color and just drag it down and drop it. And it fills in the color there. Wrong inks. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to continue around here. This is sort of the boring, dry part of coloring, unfortunately. And I've switched to a bigger tool in some of these places where the inks are a little bit thicker. But like I said, just make sure that you can fill it in like this if you want in places. But the main goal is just make sure that the shapes are closed. And what I mean is there's no open, like that's an open shape, that's a closed shape. So we want to make sure that all of these little areas are closed. In the comic book industry, they actually have people that just do this part. They're called flatters, actually. And it's not really a creative position, so it's hard to break in as a colorist or an artist as a flatter, because most of the time you're not even credited. But this is a very time-consuming part, so what the colorist will do, at least in the comic book world, is they'll pay a flatter, and that takes care of all of the tedious technical stuff like this. And then they just go in and start adding the light and shadow and on top of it. Now they also have to change the colors because a flatter's colors are usually just random colors. Because in Photoshop it's really easy to change colors once you've got them down. You can just use the magic wand to change it. Sort of like we're going to use color drop in Procreate. And like I said, you might want to try color dropping if your inks are really clean. But I haven't had a lot of success with that when it comes to this part of it anyway. Alright, so if I did that well enough, then that should have filled everything, and it did. So just go to your color and drag it in there. Now, one other thing that Procreate does, I'm going to have to get really close to see this, but if you color drop and then hold, it does something called a threshold, okay? And all that means is it's looking for, it's kind of the degree that it's looking for edges. And at 100, it won't even, do it at all. So I want to leave it somewhere around, I don't know, 80, 90% or so. And I'm just going to clean up a few of these places that I'm seeing here where that white's coming through. Yeah, and if I've got to look this hard, then I'm not really going to be able to see it once I zoom out. So now we have our base shape here, and I guess we need to do this fire here, don't we? Actually, we can experiment here on something. We'll see how well this does. I don't think it's going to work that great, but we'll try. So I'm going to set my inks as a reference layer. Okay. When you click on a layer that's selected, it pulls up all these options here, and there's an option for reference. Now what this is going to do, when I use the color drop tool, it's going to use these ink lines as a reference point for the edges. Okay? And theoretically, if I drop this into this shape, let me get on the right layer, and I'm going to drag that threshold down, but yeah, because there's some openings in the inks, and like I said, this is why I'm not crazy about using this method, because you end up having to go in and switch tools and back to your pencil. Actually, was I on the wrong, made the wrong layer, reference layer? That's what I did. I got to get rid of some of these other layers here. Alright. So this is why you should name your layers, people. This is our reference layer. So I'm going to reference that. And let's zoom out and try this again. That didn't really work. So if I hold and drag it, see what happened there? So as I drag it to the left, it starts finding those edges. But as you can see, it's not really doing a very good job, right? So you might want to use that as to sort of get a rough estimate of where you want to go. But let's see if we can get this even close to where we want. It's not bad. I'm going to have to clean a lot of this up, but so that's, I think, what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and clean this up in the meantime, and in the next one, we'll keep on with the coloring.